Yes.
The official, the one and only song that drives the opening of the Huddle. Love it. Good morning.
Good morning. Great morning. Welcome back to another Nudelberg Daily Huddle, where we are committed to helping you get 1% better every day, which would be why we show up here every day.
You know, the power of routine, crazy. I was in the gym this morning with Jake. It was actually the first time I worked out just before I was really sick and I knew I was bad. So I didn't really get a workout this morning. I got a workout. And getting back in the routine, getting back in the flow, blowing out 600-700 calories. It was awesome, man. I love. Yesterday, I woke up on the right time. I ate well. I walked during the day. I had a big break. I did a beach walk. So I just love routine, man. Give me the routine. Give me the
Love
process.
routine. Go figure that you are a routine freak. Yes, I am. And it's funny because, I've been traveling a lot, like
And you are continuing to travel this month.
2 straight weeks of traveling, and then I leave on Sunday to go to Tallahassee. I'm super excited to be speaking to the real estate school next Wednesday, but I'm going to get to be up there. I'm going to work from up there. I'm going to see some people I haven't seen in a really long time. I'm going to get to spend a ton of time with Kai. I'm going to get to see him do a relay race at his school, which is really cool. But then we come back and we leave on Friday to go to New York. So it's just lots and lots of travel. And most people would that would just totally derail them. This amount of travel in 4 weeks they would just be a mess. But, moderation, I'm not traveling to places like we ate pretty well while we were in Pittsburgh, but I didn't eat ridiculously every day.
We had pork nachos. What the fuck?
At one meal, right? So that's my point, is that it wasn't like we woke up and went and got like a cheese omelet and ate a huge breakfast and then ate a huge lunch and then ate a huge
dinner. We did not
eat
breakfast that day, candidly, right?
I only had one glass of wine at dinner the night before with the entrepreneur group. So when you're traveling and you're out of your normal routine, if you can find a way to create some moderation and some discipline, really allows you to operate at a high level still and not get totally derailed, which is nice.
I happen to agree with you. I was not functioning that way. Consider Labor Day, consider Europe trip, consider sick. That was just bad. And I will tell you, you don't know, and this is something everybody should wake up and look themselves in the mirror. You don't know how fortunate you are when you feel good, because you don't know it until you feel bad. And then you go, shit, I hate this, man. So I finally clear. I had the best day of getting in the system. And I point you to my post this morning, because there's a big difference between coaching and training. For those people that were there, they learned new stuff and that was blowing their mind. I didn't learn new stuff. I got coached. I got put back in accountability and process. And I jammed yesterday, man. Jake was like, what's happening, man? The sparkle's back, And when you're in that group, it feels good, man. It's just great.
Yeah. And yesterday was kind of that way too, just getting back into the groove of, had a ton of coaching calls. We had our GOTB accountability call, and it was awesome. I mean, the majority of the day centered around strategy. Like even the GOTB call, I kind of put everybody on the spot a little bit to be like, look, we really defined a biz dev strategy yesterday, and I think it's important for everybody in here to have their own. And if you don't, and you're trying to implement the tactics that we're teaching you, you're still going to miss. It's still going to be an uphill battle. And so we went deep into defining everybody's strategy on the call, talked about communication after, just really, really great stuff. And then I got the opportunity to be with the Take Stock people for our last session, and we talked all about visibility to work. I was dealing with all of their leaders, and, we talked about the feedback loop, and we talked about the importance of, if you don't know what you're giving feedback on, or you don't have the right information to give feedback on, feedback's a waste of time anyway. So it was really good conversation all day long with all of our clients.
I think it's awesome. I mean, for me, I posted, it hit me in the face that I'm busy delivering the information. Sometimes it's not resonating with me, and you on stage coached me to say, idiot, McFly, this shit works, man. Well, just do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right back into it and got the results. A couple of things I want to talk about. My post
Well, real
yesterday.
quick, one quick thing. Tap that little, so your mic is actually muted. So there's a little button on the side.
Really? I
Yeah.
can hear him.
No, but
Who's
I can see it. There's a red dot right there. You just got to tap it on the other side.
I don't know what red dot you're talking about.
On the actual microphone.
Oh, he means on this, on your actual
turn
mic.
Turn it the other way.
Good luck to you.
There's a button there. Just tap it.
No, sir.
There you go.
Let's continue on. We can hear
better?
you. You sound great, so we're good.
All right, good. All right. So a couple of things I want to bring up. I made a post. There was a post that I made a couple of days ago. Somebody reached out and watch what they said. Jason Bunk, thank you. You're getting your moment. He said, I've been following your advice. 5 contacts a day until the end of the year. Already seeing how much these first 3 days of the quarter are changing things personally and professionally. Thank you for your uplifting videos. The shit works. Good proof. Okay. Number one. Number two. So you talk about the power of people, in office, politics, and things that matter. This is what matters. The governor, the governor of New York, with Buffalo Bills playing, we got to worry about people drinking.
Yeah, they extended the deadline for special permits so that all bars and restaurants in Buffalo would be able to serve beer and alcohol at 8 a.m. So good for them. It's gonna be a great time.
I think it's really important. That was the focus of the government there. So
I mean, we don't know what to do when we get an emergency alert. I'm sure everybody got the emergency alert yesterday. I think everybody was actually happy that we shared that piece of information on the Huddle.
It did not come at the regular time. Scared the shit out of me. Holy cow!
So very funny that and we don't know what to do with that, but we're making sure that the Bills can drink liquor.
There's so much I want to talk about today. The last thing is, when people do cool shit. Kirk Cousins went to see the Twins yesterday. Did not call in a favor. Bought tickets online. Sat there incognito, and during the game, people got wind that he was there. But what a cool thing to be there to see them. They were the team that had the longest playoff drought.
21 years. Yeah. 21 years without a playoff victory.
They've made it. They just haven't won.
Yeah, without a playoff victory, without a playoff series victory. Like they haven't advanced in the playoffs in 21 years.
Congrats to them. Congrats to the Marlins for a great season. Unfortunately, they didn't make it work. Let's wake this thing up and get into some real energetic. Wake up, everybody. I got to shout out Mr. Chaz Warrington. He'll be here tomorrow. He's the huddler in the hot seat. Congratulations to the Phillies. That building was lit up. That building was awesome. Completely on fire. Crazy, crazy stuff. So, we're talking about process. We're talking about doing things the right way. The results don't come instantaneously. You don't plant the tree and then eat the fruit from the tree. It just doesn't happen that way. Jason Alexander, better known as George, did a great video that I'll share.
The part that I want to say as an answer to you is, as you begin to find your way of working and you bump into something, you go, I can't make this work. Be gentle with yourself. You don't yell at a bud because it isn't a flower yet. It's gonna be a flower, but it opens when it's time for it to open. If you're working on something that is beyond your ability at the moment, it doesn't mean it will be beyond your ability in a month, but at the moment, it's gonna frustrate the hell out of you. Acknowledge it and go, I'm not getting this. I'm not achieving what I want to achieve right now. Tomorrow. I'll make another choice tomorrow. I'll look at one of these elements another way. Or I need to go out and observe something that is this in life and see if I can learn something from that.
I love that. I mean,
So, comments.
yeah, just, we would not be happy in our lives if everything was easy. We would be bored. We would be bored, and we would be looking for the thing that would be challenging us, and we would be sitting there going, I'm not fulfilled. But then when you seek the thing that challenges you and you run into all the obstacles, you go, oh, it's hard. Oh, it sucks. I'm struggling. But if you can somehow step out of that for a second, and like when he took the breath, I thought that was the most powerful thing of the
Yeah.
entire time. Okay, tomorrow. Right. And I think that that's got to be the reminder for yourself, is that the pain and the struggle and the frustration is the thing that makes it worth it. That all of that is the reason you're here. All of that is the reason you're doing the thing you're doing. You will eventually move beyond that frustration, but it's going to take time and it's going to take work. And you have two options: give up the work and be miserable, right? Or press on, take a deep breath, and come back tomorrow and make another decision, and you will be better for it. It's a promise. It's a guarantee.
So we have great feedback. I think Chris, nails it here. The inner talk track that we have, feedback loop to ourselves, is the most critical. It's the hardest one to train, which is why videos and podcasts and reading and affirmations feed that voice. They make it okay to understand that not every day is going to be, climbing the mountain. I got to be moving forward. I got to keep going, but you're going to have detours. You're going to have frustrations. And so, finding those kind of videos for me is easy. Mark, what did we pay for that video?
Nothing.
You have to go somewhere to sit in a room with Jason Alexander to hear him say that.
Nope. You just
No,
gotta
it's
look
right,
on YouTube.
right at our fingertips. If you look, I had a great conversation with somebody in Carolina yesterday who we're hopeful to do some work with. We just really hit it off. And he mentioned, I'm sending him my book in Audible, and he mentioned, I get, because I told him I read it. He said something about Green Lights, which is read by Matthew McConaughey. I said, what would you pay to sit down with Matthew McConaughey? I think the guy blasts amazing stuff. And so I sent him, after the call, I sent him the clip about breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this is genius. I go, right at your fingertips. It's right there. So,
right.
If you're, and this is where the power of the process really is. How are you feeding yourself? When are you feeding yourself? When do you do stuff? For me, it's so easy. I had this ironclad process that when I decided to let go and say, all right, I'm going away, I got good things happening in my life, I had something to come back to.
Yeah, I think the other major takeaway out of there is the kind of grace that you're giving yourself, or all of the situations that you're in. I mean, you got Bruce Lee, who said, be like water, right? And water just finds a way to move. It doesn't stop flowing. It just goes and goes and goes. And as soon as you feel that frustration is a block. That frustration is a dam. That frustration is an obstruction from you continuing to move forward. The more you feed that, the more you build the dam, the more you feed the obstruction, the more you create more of the obstacle for yourself. So how much grace are you giving to yourself? How much grace are you giving to your people, right? Like, it is continuously about moving forward, accepting the challenge of getting 1% better every day. How do you do that? You do that by giving yourself some grace and agreeing to put in the work that's necessary to go figure out how to get better. You might not get better, right? Like my post about Dion, got a lot of traction, but sometimes your progress is masked in failure. So give yourself some grace and come back for another day.
The one thing that was said in there that he didn't really hone in on enough is, tomorrow, but what am I going to do different tomorrow? What am I going to learn? What am I, he did sort of say, go sit in a room with somebody who's doing it, So he inferred that, hello, I need help. I'm drowning. Hello, if you're drowning, your instinct is
asking for help. Absolutely. Looking for the information somewhere else. But I do like the fact that he said, I'm going to look at this from a different angle. I'm going to look at it from a different perspective. Because if you go ask for help, but you're not willing to look at it from a different angle, help's a waste of time. The information is a waste of time. If you're not open to looking at it from whatever direction they might steer you to, you're wasting your time anyway.
So awesome stuff. I picked out motivational music for a special reason. So yesterday I had a 90-minute gap in the day. I had a cancellation. And I said, okay, back to my normal thinking, what am I going to do? Threw on a sweatshirt, sneakers, and I walked the beach. Just put headphones on and just reveled in, being. And one of the songs that came up was this Sting song. And it totally nails what the new economy is and what modern business development is. Shay, give me Sting.
Pick my pockets, steal my eyeballs, and come back for the sockets. Run every kind of test from A to Z, and you still know nothing about me. Run my name through your computer, mention me in passing to your college shooter. Check my records, check my facts, or check if I paid my income tax. Pour over everything in my CV, but you still know nothing about me. Still know nothing about me.
How perfect is that?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal lyrics.
Check everything you want. And I think from what we were talking about in the process and, where we're driving what modern business development is you got to get to know somebody, man.
Got to come back to the conversations.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to know them. Even if you looked everything up on Google, even if you looked up everything on LinkedIn and you still don't know their story. Everybody's got a story. And maybe you learn from that story. And maybe that's the nugget that takes you over the top from somebody that you have the opportunity to reach out to instead of selling them.
It was the exact same conversation I had with the Take Stock people yesterday, right? Like I talked about KPIs with them and I talked about, hey, like if you have the right KPIs and you're monitoring the right numbers, that's going to point you in the direction of the problem. It's not going to tell you what the problem is. It's going to tell you where to go have the conversation. It's going to tell you where to go ask the questions in order to be able to figure it out. It's the same in biz dev. Like you're going to look at somebody and on paper, they may fit who you're looking to have a conversation with. They may fit who you do business with. They may look like somebody that you would be great friends with. But until you have the conversation with them and until you get to know them, you got no idea. You're guessing.
You're guessing, man. So you used one on stage, which, by the way, I had follow up with Mark yesterday, which was really great. Hopefully he's watching or listening this morning. Mark, great fun with you. But you said a question. What's the one thing I should know that everybody should know about you? So leading questions, understanding what the questions are. So Zach Toyota is a guy that is he likes everything I do. He's in our world. I've never had to sit down with him. You've never had to sit down with him. So I asked him the question, what's exciting in your personal and business life?
Mm-hmm.
He fired back an answer. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm building, awesome, man. That's great. I would love to learn more about the software company. It's not selling. I engaged him where he is, not where I am. So, that's a good one.
The other side of that question that I talked about on the GOTB call yesterday was like, I went around everybody in the room and said, hey, like, what's the one thing everybody should know about you? And we all shared it. And I was like, if that's not coming through in your content, if you can tell me what the one thing that everybody should know about you is, and that's not consistently being communicated in the way you share your message on a daily basis, shame on you. Like you're keeping the biggest, best kept secret away from everybody. The one thing that you'd want to have a conversation about no matter what. Like Jonathan Aarons has like 95 first cousins. He's got like the largest family you've ever heard of in your entire life. He shared
I don't
that on
want to know the backstory there.
yeah, well, so that led to a great dialogue on the call. People were like, "Are any of them married to each other?
Exactly.
Do you live in Mississippi?"
Bourbon or something, right?
But so there's a conversation starter. There's a way to endear yourself to people, and if you're not sharing that with people consistently, what are you sharing?
You know, so it's so funny because all of this rolls up into, getting to the conversation. And it has nothing to do with what I sell, but in some cases it does. Two people that liked, it's 47, not 95.
I love that he said that.
But, to your point about, if you're not putting out there who you really are, that's very much like in advertising, a bait and switch.
Yep.
I don't know who you are. Well, it's potluck. Here's who I am, like it or not. And so 2 case scenarios yesterday, I posted something in the morning. It got a lot of traction. 2 of the people that liked it, I thanked them for supporting my post. And I said, I'm curious, what are you doing in training and development? Both major brand names in this market came back with, we've been talking about it. We don't have a solution. I'd like to talk to you. I showed Shay, I go, a month ago, my head was so far up my ass, I was not paying attention. Just, now it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, how many times a day can I ask that question?
It's so easy, right? It's so easy.
Like, and so like Jake's saying like, oh my God, you're like a rookie. I go, it's so refreshing to get back to basics. I feel like players that get back to spring training or whatever, you get re-engaged with the information. You start doing the fundamentals. The fundamentals are what make winners champions. Bingo. And so awesome stuff. What questions are you asking? That's what I want to leave you with. What questions are you leading with? What leading questions? If you have some, share them with us. If you want to have a virtual coffee and discuss them, please do. I am finishing up my LinkedIn pod. 3 sessions in, and I think everybody that's in it, even, we've had outside dialogue. It really turns out to be much more than LinkedIn. And sure. I'm going to do another one. Shay will be posting. I'm going to do another one in November. So, add that to the mix.
And if that question, what are you doing for training and development, resonates with you, if you're not doing anything, at a minimum, you should be subscribing to our newsletter, because twice a week you are getting tools, you are getting valuable insights, and you are getting short little nuggets that can help you get 1% better every day. So at a minimum, you should be doing that for yourself. And also, guys, we are exactly 3 weeks away from the Women's Summit. So super excited for that event coming up. Make sure that you have your ticket. I believe that there's
Jonathan Aarons coming to that. Or
there's no way.
Any of his cousins.
We don't have enough tickets left to seat all of his cousins. So there are only 25 tickets left. So make sure that you get your spot for that. Excellent stuff. Cannot wait to have Chaz on Huddler in the hot seat tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business.